Yeah, I think the parallels in themselves don't prove that Thomas knew the Synoptic Gospels, because the other options would be that the Synoptic Gospels knew Thomas, or that they all share a source or sources. And of course, it's the latter that lots of people think is the case. Lots of people think that Matthew, Luke, Thomas have access to the same traditions, but just independently of one another. So the parallels in themselves don't prove anything. In a way, that's the beginning of the investigation, not the end. For me, what illustrates that Thomas does know the synoptics, and this is what I try to argue in my work, is that Thomas has signs of Matthew's and Luke's fingerprints over it. So there are certain characteristic ways that Matthew speaks, certain characteristic ways that Luke speaks. And when Thomas carries over those characteristic modes of speech, the same imagery, the same rhythms, the same vocabulary, then that's when I say that the direction of traffic is from Matthew to Thomas, from Luke to Thomas, and not all of them sharing something that they've accessed independently.
Okay. I mean, when I was working on my comps for my PhD, I was asked about the relationship between the Thomas and Synoptics. And one of the remarks I said about it was, here you have this text which seems to know every other text. So either the author
Mm-hmm.
of this text had one hell of a library, or the
Mm-hmm.
reverse would be much more natural. So
Mm-hmm.
much more likely that one text collects a bunch of other things, or that a bunch of texts each selects a piece of the previous text, right?
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, this is John Mayer's argument that Thomas seems to know every single possible strand of tradition. And the funny thing about John Mayer's argument is I'm now writing a book on John's knowledge of the synoptics, and where exactly the same thing's true. John seems to know every little strand of tradition, but when it gets to that, John Mayer resists the argument that he uses over Thomas, and he goes, no, no, Thomas must be independent, because I think he wants sorry, he says John must be independent because he wants John to be independent, because then it gives you a route to the historical Jesus. So, but yes, I think that's right. Thomas, like John, seems to have an extraordinary knowledge of an extraordinary number of traditions that are from different areas. It's much easier to say that they simply knew the Synoptic Gospels, at least in my opinion.
Yes.